Hi, this is Jason, and this is my daily vlog called Living with CMT. I hope you enjoy. Well, it's just gone 7:30 on Wednesday night. I've had quite a lot of responses to the video I posted yesterday about the bridge collapse in Genoa. One particular one from a woman who's actually from Genoa, or Genoa, I don't know how you pronounce it actually, I think it's Genoa. And her name was Amanda Blee, and she basically is from Genoa, and she said that basically that bridge was more than just a bridge. You know, to some people it was a lifeline. It was a route to lots of different places. People used it all the time. There was tons and tons of traffic going over there every single day. Now, when I spoke to you last night, well, when I first found out the death toll was 22, I've now found out that it's got even worse than that. It's actually 39. My heart goes out to all the friends, families, relatives of the people that are involved in it. I really do feel for you really badly. Over here, you know, we do have disasters. Of course we do in the UK, of course we do. But the way we look at them over here and the severity of them, you know, we have like motorway crashes and stuff like that. I mean, I think when you hear about disasters, your first thought is, you know, I'm lucky that, you know, I wasn't involved in it or I wasn't anywhere near it, and that's always the case. It's like this summer, we've just had in the UK the hottest summer for 30 odd years, 40 odd years or something, and we were baking in 30-degree temperatures, you know, and that was warm for the UK. That's really hot, especially for how long it lasted. It lasted for, you know, I think about 2.5, nearly 3 months of solid heat. And it was only when I was reading about people who were dying in their thousands in Japan from the heat that I realised that it was nothing ours. You know, we got 30 degrees over there. They got 44-degree temperatures in the daytime, 44 degrees, you know. They haven't got the luxury of us, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they're all poor people and they haven't got no air conditioning, but you need a lot of power to keep that much air conditioning going for a big country like Japan, you know what I mean? And I really felt for them. And over here, we had a couple of fires, you know, we had a couple of fires that either were arson or they were accidental. But then I also took into account the fact that while looking on the internet, I also saw that California had fires that made ours look like a garden barbecue, you know. It was absolutely horrendous, you know. These were people losing houses and properties and families, you know, lives. And I just could not believe it, that this was like a natural disaster. You know, this is a natural thing because of the heat, because of even, you know, it could take one person leaving a bottle on the ground or throwing a cigarette stub away in a bin, you know, and these fires can start from nothing. And like I said yesterday when I said about life being fragile, you know, what I wanted to talk about today was another subject which a lot of people can relate to, I think, and that is bullying. Now, I don't mean internet bullying like you get nowadays. I mean bullying like you see. Now, the problem I've got is when I was younger, I was bullied to death. I really was. I was bullied by everybody. I didn't really stand much of a chance. I only had a couple of friends. Everybody else bullied me, picked on me, tripped me up, pushed me over, beat me up, whatever. Now, at the time, I was very low, very down, very depressed, and I was going to take my life. And I could understand when I read these stories about people who do take their lives, I can understand where they're at, these children that are bullied, you know, because when I was younger, you could escape from it. You could get home, you could turn off from it from like 5 in the afternoon till 9 the next day. You were free, you know. If you stayed in the house, you were free. Obviously nowadays they don't get that because they get mobile phones and the internet and Facebook and Twitter and what have you, so they can be bullied everywhere. But when I was going to take my life, I decided I was going to do it. I was only 14, 15 at the time. And the one thing that stopped me was who would find me. I was actually more concerned that it would destroy my family finding me, because I was going to do it in my bedroom. I was just going to take an overdose and just go sleep, you know. I'd had enough. I didn't want to carry on, you know. I was quite prepared. And the one thing about me is I'm not scared of dying. I'm not. Because the one thing the one thing we know from the minute we're born is that one day we will die. That's obvious. But the manner you die and what comes next, you know what I mean? That's the only thing that bugs me. That's the only thing that used to keep me awake at night, thinking, once I'm gone, is that it? Out like a candle, boom, you know? Or is there something after? Obviously, nobody knows. Everybody guesses and surmises and stuff like that. Now, when I was bullied at school, I was bullied because, unbeknownst to me, part of it was due to my CMT, even though I didn't know at that time that I had CMT. Because I was awkward and I fell a lot, I was always falling over and I couldn't keep my balance. And if somebody pushed me slightly, then I would go flying. That, of course, made me ideal for picking on, you know, what we call picking on anyway. And the fact that I had glasses, that opened me up straight away, 4 eyes, all that kind of ridicule. And that you kind of get used to. Now, when I said yesterday that life is fragile, I think to myself now, what would have happened if everything what's happened to me, all that I would have missed out on if that one day I'd have decided I don't care who finds me and took the overdose. Because everything else after that would have been a blank, wouldn't it? I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have had a clue. And yet I look back at my life, and if I weigh up the pros and the cons, the pros are brilliant, you know. I've got some bad things, yeah, obviously, but if you can keep the pros on a balanced scale and you can keep that tipped, then, you know, you're doing well for yourself. I saw today as well, news, obviously, because I do focus a lot on the news. That's where I get most of my stuff from off the internet. I don't get it from Facebook news, because a lot of that on there is complete and utter spam. You know, I mean, I've seen so many actors that have died on there, and then they've tweeted, you know, oh, I'm really sorry that I've died, but I didn't know I had, that kind of thing. So you've got to watch what you read on Facebook, like you have with every other news story. I always make sure that if somebody tells me a story on the internet or post something on Facebook, I have to check it before I will post anything. I will go on and verify it. I will go on to BBC News, Sky News, and if there's no mention of it at all, then I'll know somebody's pulling my chain, you know, somebody's having a wind up. Because if Sky News haven't got it, which is the big world news broadcaster, and BBC News haven't got it, which is the biggest, I think one of the biggest broadcasters in the UK anyway, then the chances are it's not news. It's not actually happened. So I do tend to keep an eye out for stuff like that. On a lighter note, I see that something shocked me today, made me feel really, really old. Madonna is 60, which I can remember when she started, you know, with, I think it was Borderline and Like a Virgin and Into the Groove and all that sort of stuff. So it's hard to think that I've actually known her singing since the start of her career, because I'm 46 now. So yeah, that'd be about right actually, yeah. She was early 80s, well, mid 80s. She had a go at acting, but I don't think she was as good at acting as she was at singing, to be perfectly honest with you. Other news, what is happening today? I don't know. Anyway, to be honest, I haven't done a lot today. I did finish watching that film I talked about last night, the Nicolas Cage one and Elijah Wood, called The Trust. And if you can watch it and tell me what the heck the ending is about, please let me know. Because the film made perfect sense up until the last 5 minutes, and then nothing made sense whatsoever. Not at all. I couldn't figure it out. I was sort of scratching my brain thinking, hang on a minute, you know, I don't get this. Anyway, I got a bit fed up of that one, and when it finished, so I thought, right, I'll just watch a pointless action film, right, so I've picked, I bought a trilogy of Blu-rays from Poundland, which is a shop in the UK where basically everything should be £1. It isn't, but it starts at. Anyway, this one's called The Keeper, and I know what it's going to be. You know, it's going to be Steven Seagal. I've seen the first half of it. He basically gets double-crossed as a copper, kills his copper who tries double-cross him, goes and becomes a bodyguard for this woman who her father he knew years before, and he's going to thwart the bad guys and he's going to save the day and all that kind of galarny. But, you know, I'm only watching it because it literally is a numbskull it's a numbskull film. In other words, I don't need to think about it. If you have to think about films like that, then you've got a problem. You know, you watch them for the action. That's what I watch them sort of films for. And before when I was talking about what I haven't achieved and what I have achieved, and I'm 46. I'm a published poet. I've got 2 poems in 2 different publications. One that was a local publication in Stoke-on-Trent, one that was a world publication. I've had a book published, self-published on Amazon, a fantasy novel, and I have over 300 poems on a website on the internet as well. So that's not bad so far. I'm now happily married. I've been married for 4 years, and with my wife for 18 years. I've got a lovely house. I've got a mental dog, which you've seen pictures of and video of. So I can honestly say, yeah, my life's worth living. You know, my life is worth living. The CMT is a downside, of course it is, and so is my hypothyroidism and the rest of the stuff I've got. But it doesn't stop me from saying I have got a good life, and that's what I was on about yesterday. Be positive, you know. Don't think of your negatives. Think of your positives. Imagine, you know, you've got a roll of film. You've had it developed. There's a couple of black frames, but the rest of it is all lovely pictures. So you can say, I've just actually dropped myself in it there, haven't I? Because I'm showing my age now. A roll of film. That'll baffle a few people. No, what I mean is, if you take your camera shots and you take loads of photos and you put your SD card into your computer to look at the pictures, and a couple of them have come out blurry, you get rid of them because you don't want them. But the rest are fantastic, and you can make an album out of them. That's how you've got to look at your life. Forget the blurry bits, forget the blurry photos that don't mean note. Focus on the ones that have come out right, because you'll always have that. Nobody can take that away from you. Anyway, that's me done for now. I've rattled for another 12 minutes, I can't believe it. And you all take care, and I shall do another video tomorrow. If you're enjoying the videos I'm doing and you want to see more, you can subscribe by clicking the link there. And if you want to see my exciting day from yesterday, you can click up there. Thank you again for taking the time to watch my videos. Bye for now.